three strong passions at the time as well. And one of the things that I did discover when it came to life skills and supporting young people into adult independence as well was that, yeah, there was a lack of financial education, and that was a stumbling block for many, many young people, and it traveled with them into their adulthood.
Yeah.
And at some stage of my adulthood, I was one of those young people who. Hello, 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 hello. This is your boy Peter, and I'm with my co-host, my bro Jax. Today, how are you?
Peter, I'm doing well, man. I'm really excited for this episode, man. Yeah, how you doing?
I am extremely well, extremely well. Now, for our listeners, you might have noticed something because you might be a long-time subscriber of this particular podcast, and historically, we had a different name. Now, just for our listeners that might be a bit confused as to what's happened to our name on your usual listings and where we've been subscribed, yes, this is or was the Woke Finance podcast, but it's official. We've been letting our long-time listeners know over the last month or so that we've got some big news happening, and that big news is that we have officially revamped our brand. We've changed our name. And Jax, do you want to do the honors of letting our listeners know what is the name we've changed? I mean, it's already up on their screen, but just to let them know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what was woke finance is now level up financial education. Again, that's level up financial education. That is the new name of the organization, starting off with the social enterprise, and of course the podcast as well.
Come on, come on, come on. So no longer welcome to the Woke Finance podcast. We'll be welcoming you to the Level Up Financial podcast, so-called for short. But our official long name is Level Up Financial Education. And yep, all of our details, Instagram, website, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of that will be in the description as well. So yeah, I mean, on our side, to be honest, not much has changed in terms of our mission, in terms of our values, in terms of our goals and aims, in terms of what we want to do when it comes to financial education and building financial awareness and confidence as well. But what has changed is, of course, our brand. And we're going to talk a bit about that. This isn't a long episode. It's just to take you on the journey for which Jax has been officially 7 years now. And Jax, I guess in 2019, that's when we registered the company as Woke Finance CIC, Community Interest Company. Do you want to talk a bit about beginning those earlier times as to why we actually set up Woke Finance and why the name Woke Finance?
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. Goodness me, 7 years. I do love the number seven, right? 7 days in a week, 7 years of what was woke finance and is now level up financial. I'm even born on the seventh month of the year. So actually, at the time of recording this podcast, well, officially in my birthday month, which is July.
Come
Yeah,
on.
so all those years ago, which literally feels like just the other day, to myself anyway, we decided to bring a level of consciousness, a level of guidance and education when it comes to personal finance to the wider community. And we decided that actually the kind of the segment of community that we wanted to prioritize were the young people, focusing on young people, particularly those that were underrepresented and probably need the financial education more than others. And that's how it came about. Myself, coming from the financial industry, having worked in asset management now for 12 years, I felt as if, from my perspective, I had been gaining a lot of experience and knowledge from my corporate career, but also in my personal life. As we go on a personal finance journey ourselves, and I really wanted to bring that kind of education to the everyday young person who can benefit from it. But who else would I possibly have ever done this with but the amazing Peter, who
Come on.
of course had significantly better experience than me working with young people. So yeah, Peter, what was it like on your side?
Yeah, I mean, similarly on my side, as you just mentioned, I've got extensive experience working with young people across the border, from different types of backgrounds, different levels, ability, and attainment, in mainstream school, outside of mainstream schools, from pupil referral units, working in the justice system, prisons, etc. So, working with young people and empowering young people was one of my three strong passions at the time as well. And one of the things that I did discover when it came to life skills and supporting young people into adult independence as well was that, yeah, there was a lack of financial education, and that was a stumbling block for many, many young people, and it traveled with them into their adulthood.
Yeah.
And at some stage of my adulthood, I was one of those young people who never received or never benefited from financial education. And so yeah, when we put our thoughts together all those years ago, it just felt right in terms of working with yourself. And I know just from yourself that you are quite passionate about giving back, so to speak. I know it sounds cliche, but I've seen it in action with you in terms of giving back, mentoring the younger generation, and actually having a heart of an educator as well. So it was a no-brainer to test some of those ideas in the forms of workshops. I mean, we went out to schools, we even went out to prisons because obviously I got strong links with them as well. And we was testing those ideas. And then it was just, yeah, further confirmation that we needed to set up something official.
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. I think for me, by then, I had already started coaching adults. So I had already started doing a lot of financial education for adults, often 25 and above. And I felt as if some of the things that I was teaching them, they could have really benefited from having that piece of education at a much younger age. So for me, it was an absolute no-brainer to start targeting younger people and making sure that they have access to good quality financial education. But in terms of coming up with the name, I think that's something we deliberated for quite a while. But I think ultimately we came up with the name Woke Finance. Remember, this was 2019. And for me, it was all about consciousness and what the term woke represented back then, which was an awareness, being awake when it comes to personal finance. Because on our personal journeys, and of course in my corporate journey, I was becoming aware of ideologies and financial products that just were not spoken about or even mentioned in my community. So for me, I wanted to bring that awareness and kind of consciousness of financial education to young people. And what better term to use back then than not just wake or awake, but rather woke, which was such a cool term back then.
Come on, come on, come on. And just like any other business and journey and organization, on our side, we always need to make sure all areas of our work is fit for purpose for the times we're in as well. And that includes not just the work that the great work that we're delivering, the people that we have on our team, the culture of the organization, but also our brand and what our brand represents. And as we've evolved over time, yeah, we will be thinking for a couple of years now about what that new brand could look like, or even if that involves a new logo or a new name or new color schemes, all of that stuff as well. And on that journey, this is where we discovered that, yeah, we would like to take the brand to a new journey, on a new journey as well, and essentially change the name and everything associated with the brand, so to speak, as well. And it's been a bit of a journey. We've been working with a few stakeholders, a few professionals in this space, many, many, and probably, Jax, I'll take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to all of the stakeholders that's actually been involved in this journey. Number one, our listeners here. You've played a part in building the brand, the previous brand as well, and what we've done by changing the name is just building on what has already existed. So it's taken us even further. But also the people that's actually directly been involved in the change of the new name and the new brand as well. That goes to young people that we've surveyed and interviewed. That goes to our partners, even funders as well in different capacities, and various different groups that we've worked with to take us on this journey. A massive shout out to our consultants that we've been working with. And Jax, we can definitely, we will ask them, but we can definitely put their details in the description. for anyone that's just interested that likes our new brand and wants to, maybe use who we've used for their own services. So yeah, it's just a massive thank you for them. And now, Jax, I guess after that, we've got the new name. We've been on a journey. We've interviewed. We've worked with various stakeholders, and obviously, me and you are on board with the fantastic new name, and we're quite excited. But I guess just in your opinion, how would you sum up the new name? Why level up financial education?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I actually love the name Level Up Financial Education.
Come
Of
on.
course, the financial education kind of speaks for itself because ultimately that's what we focus on. We are all about educating the next generation when it comes to personal finances. But when we talk about leveling up, I think the key thing from my perspective is the fact that all young people, and particularly the young people that we like to target, they will be at different levels of their own personal financial education, especially in today's times where there's so much information that is distributed to them coming from different channels, whether that's TikTok, whether that's Instagram or YouTube. Or they may have just, had a spark of an interest and done some of their own research by reading books and so on and so forth. And then there'll be young people that have had absolutely no engagement with personal finances. And for us, it's all about taking them to the next level, regardless of whatever level they are at the moment that we engage them. So for me, that's what it's really all about. Leveling up when it comes to personal finances, no matter what level you are at, whether you're just a beginner, whether you're already advanced, by engaging with Level Up Financial Education, we are, well, maybe I shouldn't use the word guarantee, but I'm going to use it. We can guarantee that we can service you in some way, shape, or form and take you to the next level of financial education.
Love it, love it, love it. And Jax, we've spoken about us being on a journey. We're on a forever journey trying to increase our impact and the work that we do. I guess, Jax, it would be good to know from your side, and I can wrap up on my side, but what excites you most about the next phase of our social enterprise?
Yeah, it goes hand in hand with the name actually. So what really excites me is the fact that not only are we leveling up the young people, but we ourselves are taking ourselves to the next level. Our next level of how we deliver to young people, how we engage young people. But also, what really excites me is the ability to scale. We've worked with so many young people across the UK, but predominantly in and around London. So the ability to take our social enterprise even further and have further reach is something that very much excites me. Being able to really have more impact as well. Of course, we've impacted as many young people as we possibly can, but being able to partner up with other organizations, other social enterprises, other charities, corporates, and many different partners. What really excites me now as we look to level up is the ability to scale and reach more young people.
No, I love that. I love that, man. I'll echo the bit on the impact side, and I'll also say even on the societal impact. When a young person engages with us, I'm looking forward to measuring just how far that impact reaches. So how are we supporting young people to make better decisions into adulthood and across adulthood? And how does that make them better at contributing to society and not just their family, but towards community? And how can we get better at measuring that, not just by ourselves, but through other service providers as well, and really understanding what that long-term impact could look like. I mean, as Jack's mentioned, we've worked with many young people. To be precise, we worked with thousands of young people, and we're looking forward to deepening that impact as well. So yeah, very much excited and building up on what we've already begun in
Yeah.
terms of some great partnerships with some great organizations who are doing, work with us that complements our work as well. It's really about understanding our role that we play when it comes to developing a young person and how can we work with other partners to provide that wraparound support for each of our young people.
Absolutely. That's what it's really all about, isn't it?
Absolutely. Now, Jax, for our listeners as well, we've got listeners from all over the world, which we very much appreciate. What is our to them, I guess, in terms of now we've got a new brand, we've changed our name. Is there an ask to them from you or from us?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I would ask them to do is what they are already doing, which is engaging, starting the conversation, continuing the conversations that we have here on the podcast. And I was this close to saying the Walk Plus podcast, but now we must call it the Level Up Financial podcast. Really continuing those conversations, but also please, if you are someone who has been listening to us for a very long time, or even if you are new and you find our content engaging and educational, I would even now today, as we are changing the name, or actually we've changed the name, this is a great opportunity for you to pause the podcast, whoever you're listening to or whatever you're using to listen to us, whether it's Apple Podcast, whether it's Spotify, SoundCloud, or even YouTube. Please leave a like and leave a comment as well. Make sure you subscribe as well, because of course with the name change, it could be that maybe you might forget the name in the short term and actually search for Woke Finance. You may not be able to find us. So at this very moment as well, make sure that you are a subscribed listener to the podcast, regardless of the platform that you are using. But yes, key thing is to continue the conversation. I always encourage you to share the conversation with your friends, with your family. These are great conversation starters, because at the end of the day, we all need to level up when it comes to our financial education.
Come on, love it, love it, love it, man. And as Jack said, if you do have any comments or even thoughts about the new brand, or you just want to say congrats on the new brand, you like it, you don't like it, whatever the weather, do let us know and comment, man. Get in touch with us,
Yeah.
engage with us. We definitely always appreciate it as well, man.
Yeah. And one thing I would actually ask, I'm really going to ask this, is that as we continue with the podcast, one of the things that we want to do more of, because we've done a bit of this in the past, but something we want to do more of is do some listener questions. So
Mm.
we want to be able to engage and answer some of your questions when it comes to personal finance or anything regarding financial education. If you want to send us a question for us to respond to, please do so at contact levelupfinancial.co.uk. I'll say that one more time because it's new. It's contact @levelupfinancial.co.uk. There's no silly questions. We will do our best to answer every single question that comes through, but this is something that we really want to focus on in the next era of our podcast.
Yep. So that's our email address for you to get in contact with us if need be, as and when we do appreciate and thank you in advance as well. But now, Jax, man, we've let the viewers know as well. Even on the podcast as well, a few things will be changing up in terms of how we deliver them, where we deliver them, the type of episodes, etc. But we just encourage you to stay tuned and stay with us on this journey, man. We really appreciate it, man. Jax, any final words before I let you go during this exciting season?
No, I'm just really excited. I think 7 years has gone really fast. Of course, my thanks also goes to you as a co-host and as a business partner. I definitely couldn't, or we definitely, I'm sure, couldn't have done this without each other. So it's been an absolute pleasure building Woke Finance CIC and Woke Finance a podcast with you. I have been learning a lot from listening to you, and I hope you've learned a lot from listening to me too. And I'm just really excited as to where we're going to take the organization forward.
My learning as a result of working with you, Jax, has been enormous, I must say. I've been heavily educated in a good way. And as I said, even before, the fact that you just have a heart of an educator, it's just naturally oozes from you. So now it's been an absolute pleasure with working with you and growing the organization, as well. So absolutely massive thank you to you as well. So now I appreciate that, my bro. Now, for our listeners, we appreciate you. Please continue to stay engaged. We shall see you at the next episode for the next time. And remember,
It's
it's
always a
always a
good
good
time
time to
to level
level up.
up.